What's happening, sports fans? Christian Pedersen, Tommy Morris, Bodie De Silva, back with another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. Bodie joining us on behalf of or in representation of, I don't really know actually how you are joining us in terms of the
holiday,
but it's on behalf of Scorebook Live, the digital provider for all things high school sports in the known universe. They are gobbling it all up. Bodie's a big part of that. Bodie you can follow him at SD Preps, Tommy at Real Tommy Morris, me at Mr. CPED. On the show today, we're going to give out some game balls to the best performers of the last week in San Diego high school sports. Talk about the top 10 boys basketball teams, maybe top 5, top 10 girls basketball teams. Plus, there is some coaching news to get to. Guys, which one do you want to talk about first?
Top 10 like always.
Sounds good to me. Tommy Morris, you like to go 10-1, Bodie. You like to go 1-10. I like the 10-1 suspense build up to start off the show. So Tommy Morris, the floor is yours. Top 10 guys basketball teams in San Diego high schools.
Yeah, suspenseful 10-1 this week. There was a lot of teams in my top 10 that lost. So we got a bunch of shakeups here. We got Mission Bay at number 10. San Diego High, number 9. I know they had a tough loss against Hoover, but they still stay in my top 10. Shout out to Hoover for that win. It was a great game. I watched it live on Full-Time Hoops' Instagram. Del Norte is snucking up to number 8. France Parker, number 7. Mission Hills is my number 6 team. San Marcos drops down to 5. Or is that number 5? Excuse me. La Costa Canyon drops down to 4. Torrey Pines at 3. San Ysidro is now number 2. And St. Augustine is still number 1.
Bodie De Silva, your top 10 rankings.
Yeah, like Tommy said, a lot of movement, which I'd kind of been waiting because there were a few weeks there where you're trying to rearrange teams, and without any losing results, it's hard to do that. So St. Augustine stays at number 1 with me. They're back. They're fully healthy. They're all together, and they've been dominating. So San Ysidro, number 2, they moved up a spot. Torrey Pines is there at number 3, stayed undefeated in league play. San Marcos drops to 4 after that loss against Del Norte last week, but they followed up with some impressive wins since. Mission Hills is at number 5. Can't drop them for losing to San Marcos, and they will get them another time at home. La Costa Canyon is at number 6 for me. Francis Parker moves up a couple spots to number 7. San Diego High, number 8. They beat Mission Bay, who's at number 9 for me, and then Carlsbad stays at number 10.
I like mentioning a loss to San Marcos. You can't really fault them for it. I feel much more comfortable about the basketball season when we're at that point, that we know there are a couple of teams that, all right, great, you lost to them. They're vetted. San Marcos, one of those teams. Interesting. I love the narrative of private and public at 1 and 2 in San Ysidro and Saints. I love big and small. We're getting a lot of really good dynamic plot lines. We're also getting a lot of really good dynamic players. That's where we give out our game balls. Bodie De Silva from Scorebook Live, who are some of your top performers from the week?
Yeah, so pulling it up first, I'll start on the girls' side. Malia Wilson from Bonita Vista last Monday against Anchorage Christian, so an impressive Alaskan team coming down. 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 steals she had in that game. As I'm scrolling through, because I have all of Southern California here. Aramis Gonzalez from Otay Ranch girls basketball, 2 games last week, averaged not just a double-double, but 23 points and 22 rebounds per game. So dominating there. Angie Robles from Bishop's girls basketball had averaged over 30 a game last week, helping the Knights to 3 wins. Christian Brown from La Costa Canyon had 24 points in each of their 2 wins last week. And then earlier this week had the buzzer beater put back to beat Carlsbad. And then I'll go with Martin Flores from San Ysidro. He had 24 in both games last week, and San Ysidro have been very impressive, stayed undefeated in league now, and looks to be one of the top 4 seeds in open division.
Tommy Morris.
Yeah, we're going to start out at University City with Aidan Lockett, a kid who just transferred from the East Coast back down to San Diego. He was in San Diego before, but because of COVID year, he left. 20 points in their win over Point Loma, close game the other night, averaging over 20 points per game in league play. One of the best players in that league. Shout out to Aidan. Jake Hall from Carlsbad. He's only a freshman, averaging 23.6 points per game. Got to mention this kid. Watch out for him in a couple of years because he's going to be nasty. Jesse Nichols from Imperial, 21.7 rebounds in their win over Vincent Memorial. And Joel Schwantner.
Yep, nailed it. 24 points, 11 rebounds in their win over Pacific Ridge. Good job for Joel. He's from Maranatha, excuse me. So I was so concerned about saying Schwantner right that I totally omitted the school name. Yeah, when you're worried about that like second to last one, yeah, it's okay. It's totally acceptable.
Take a deep breath before.
I would, for my game ball, just like to, in case you have not watched one of these previous episodes, remind everybody that we have one of the best girls water polo teams we've ever had in the Bishop girls water polo team this year. Last night, they put the curb stomping down on Coronado, usually one of their rivals. It was a double-digit win. Go check them out, please. Playoffs are almost here. The season is sneaking up on us for playoffs across the winter sports. Then that means spring sports, and that means spring football, and that means it's time for us to talk just a little bit about. We've reached kind of that critical mass point where there are enough coaching vacancies that it's legitimately worth bringing up. I know that we need to say happy trails to Robbie Owens and Joe Kramer, both departing from their respective schools, Helix and St. Augustine. I know that the openings also include Fallbrook. What are some of the spots that I'm missing? What are some of the things that intrigue you? What are any thoughts and or just open floor about what's going on with the high school coaching scene right now for football? It seems
How
like
about,
this
how
has been
about
a big
Danny
2
Mitchell
weeks.
going back to Europe?
Auf Wiedersehen, Mitchell. Headed to Vienna. That's a crazy change for Danny.
Wait, is that in Italy?
No, Vienna, Austria.
What language is
Close.
They speak German.
Does Danny speak German? I know he spent some time in Europe. He must.
I would hope so. One would assume that the language of
At least
football
somewhat.
is universal, but yeah, I think that could be.
Is the route tree the same?
Yeah,
in different
Das Post
languages?
route.
The metric route tree versus well, all right. You know what? While we talk about this, I will send
Run
him-
8 kilometers and meters. Go 8 meters, make a left for 2 meters, and then go right or whatever.
A couple other jobs I will go over while you're researching there, but Troy Everhart left at Fallbrook. He was there for 3 seasons. He has taken a job at Troy High School in Ohio. We know JT O'Sullivan resigned from Patrick Henry immediately after the season. Judd Boardman left from Escondido, so that's another opening. And then Sid Reed was at Mar Vista. He left after 1 season, is now the new head coach at San Diego High. So 5 or 6 openings right now, and don't really have potential names. So obviously that's up to the school to figure out when they want to get those filled, but really jobs throughout the county and some quality jobs there.
Let's go ahead and appreciate this man taking a few minutes out of his time. We will get to say hello here to now he's on the link. Okay, yeah. Joining us is the now former director of Christian Athletics.
Live from Austria.
Guten Tag, Danny.
What's up? I love just jumping on at random here.
Hey, so we're recording the show right now, and we're saying congratulations on a. I mean, dude, what'd you spend 21 months as an AD before you had to vacate the country? It was that stressful. No, congratulations, man.
Dude, and was that did you know that German, or did you Google translate that whole thing?
Gluckwinschen.
My German's okay. I did study abroad in Berlin, so I telling you that you're cute is one of the basic phrases that I remember. So yeah, you got my A+ German game.
I got Du bist wunderschön. I went with beautiful all the time.
Deal.
Du bist wunderschön. You are beautiful. Yeah.
How strong is your German, Danny?
What's that?
How strong is your German?
Not good. I lived out there in 2014, but I only learned the bad words and how to order food, and that was kind of about it. And then say you're beautiful.
So your play calls are either food items or curse words.
Exactly right.
Well, so Tommy was wondering, does the route tree change into metric, or is the language of a route tree universal amongst all mankind?
It's got to go metric. You're right. It's got to be meters and kilometers. Yeah, all of it. So, yeah.
So when you're calling a 5-yard out, that's now what, a 3.7 meter curl?
That's exactly right. Yeah, 3.7 and turn inside. Yep.
Yep. Perfect. Well, we just wanted to say congratulations, man. Thank you so much. You are going to be there you are going to be at Christian the rest of this school year, or when do we officially say goodbye to you?
Yeah, so I'm still going to finish up at Christian here till March. So then they'll flying me out in March, and then I'll be out there for our start of the season. So they'll be on our first game is June, the first weekend of June. Fall Vienna Vikings would be pretty cool. The European League of Football is what we're in. So we'll be playing 5 different countries. Kind of the second year of this league, and there's some pretty cool players in it too. So I'm excited just to hopefully not screw them up and just put them in a position to be successful. So.
Do you know your hand-picked successor as football head coach, or is that process just beginning now?
I don't know yet, but obviously knowing this community, I've grown up here for 30 years. This is my dad's 30th year, by the way, coaching here. So that's like the hardest part, like leaving the middle of his season when it's 30th year. But I know this community and growing up in it, they're going to find someone that's a much better pick than I am, so I think it's going to be a great spot to be in. I'm sure that the school's going to be going in the same direction it's been going the last couple of years. So
we can delete this afterwards if you feel like my sense of humor is crossing the line, but could Joel Allen be a rumor that we can get started right now?
I don't, you have to ask Joel. I know he's obviously an alum. I don't know. He left an AD job before, and he's in a really good spot where he's at right now. And I don't know if he wants to be an AD just yet. And I know what he's building at Point Loma. We're playing them the second game of the season here at Christian. So I think he really wants to. I think he's in a really good spot at Point Loma. But yeah, I'm not going to throw that rumor out there with Joel.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah.
When do we start the San Diego to Vienna pipeline with the players?
Right now. I've already told you. I'll say this publicly on the show, man. I already told Moses Mooney when he's done playing in college, that's the guy I'm coming after. And after he's done, I know he's probably going to be a first rounder out there. But with T-Buck, man, I'd love to have him out there at some point. I think this league is really going to be blowing up, man. How about your boy Braxton too, going to SDSU?
Yeah, maybe in one more year you can go after him.
Yeah, that's right. He's a stud, man.
Would there be a scenario where you would potentially see this league replacing somebody's college years that they would have to go do, that a wide receiver or skill position candidate might spend 3 years playing instead of doing college, or 2 years, whatever it is?
I never thought of that. I think what this league does offer that's different than any other professional league, right? Other than the NFL. Obviously, the NFL runs the entire world. What this league is, all those NFL Europe teams, I don't know if you guys play the old Madden when they were all on there?
Yeah, weren't they all affiliated though? Like the players have to be sent from the Green Bay Packers to the Rhine Fire or whatever, right?
Yep. So those teams all still exist, and that's what this league was built off of, right? They've been only playing football out there for about 50 years, right? They're 50 years behind what we are here in the United States. So what I think this league offers is a unique fan base because it's completely separate from the United States. That's why obviously we see what in the United States, these professional leagues that start up and then they get shut down. But the infrastructure, the way those programs, the way those organizations are run, I think the people that are running this league have done it right. And it's a continental TV media, the push of it is you're not working with just one country. There's 5 different countries. So, yeah, man, I can see this thing really blowing up. And it's only year 2. And I mean, I watched the championship game last year. There's 50,000 people at that championship. So I know there's popularity in it.
Well, Danny, congratulations. We thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. One last question on the way out. Can we ask, should you ever decide for part of your offensive or defensive play calling to go with some of those sort of big boards that you bring up that have different squares or things on them? Can Tommy Morris be one of them?
Yeah, I can get a Tommy Morris one on there. Yeah.
Because
I don't know if our audience reaches Vienna, but it will.
there's a photo that we got of Tommy that Bodie took of Tommy from the
Yeah.
finals where he's doing like the point, like the thumbs up thing. Oh man, it needs to sneak its way into like third
International
tier.
waters.
Well, third tier internet celebrity where it's like, all right, Tommy now has 10,000 followers from Eastern Europe that are on a different time zone than him, but they just know him as every time number 17 scores a touchdown. It's because it was the Tommy Morris face play.
Dude, I'll tell you about Tommy Morris is ready to play at professional football. I played against him. He won't brag about himself. He is probably, if not number one, top 2, 3 quarterbacks in this city in flag football. He dominated our team. You know, we had a powerful team, and we got upset. It'll always be in the back of my mind. We lost 22-20. This guy, ice in his veins. We were winning, and he drives down and under a minute beats us. So I'm hoping, you know, I think our quarterback can take some lessons from Tommy.
Now I got to Venmo Danny for saying that publicly.
Well, no. I'm tying a cute little bow on the end of the interview, and then he goes and has perhaps the most controversial take on what will be his exit interview with San Diego, where I don't ever remember hearing you compliment Tyler Buckner with that many commas and descriptive adjectives. So are you saying here on the podcast that Tommy Morris is a better quarterback than Tyler Buckner?
I can say, obviously, Tommy, I got to play against. You know, I watched Tyler from the sideline, but, you know, being a competitor against him, that's a guy I don't ever want to line up against.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask it this way. Let me ask it this way. You got to go win a championship this season in Vienna. Who are you taking, Tommy or Tyler?
But strictly just because of NCAA rules as well. I mean, just make this.
All right. Fair enough. Get out of here, Danny.
I mean, I know.
Thank you, Danny.
If I got 1 minute to drive. Is it Mahomes or Tommy Morris? That is a conversation that's coming back. I don't know, man. Same conversation. They deserve the same accolade.
We may never know. Danny, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on. Bodie, I didn't even see you were there, bro. Bodie.
Hey, what's up?
Bodie was looking up German words and he couldn't put a sentence together yet.
I'll see you guys hopefully before I leave too. So a couple months here.
We'll come out there one or two more times. Have a team make a championship run, and we'll definitely bump into you.
Deal. All right, man. Well, our soccer team's doing it, the girls. So, all right, man. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.
It's for sure going to be Joel that takes over there. For sure. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking with you all. We've gone over time now, but I would just like to toss it out there real quick on the tail end of this. Of the available open jobs, what is one that either intrigues you the most or you think has the most impact available in the county or might be the dark horse? Just one that you think deserves people paying attention to who gets hired there, as it could potentially be something interesting to follow.
I'll say Escondido just because we just had the championship games and they were all there. So the facilities there are nice. I'm sure that the community would like to have a good football team there. So I think you get the right guy in there with those facilities. Kids will want to come and play there. So you got a real shot at building something big there.
I don't have Escondido's record for the last 5 years up, but I feel like low margins of loss and victory. Like they've been on the bubble maybe for 10 years. Of being pretty good, but just haven't had football go their way. So totally agree with you that the premise of that, thought it was a great venue. The premise of them staying there for the next couple of years, I'm fine with. Don't waste money if you don't have to. Until that new stadium at SDSU can maybe be worked out at a reasonable price. But yeah, that'd be great for Escondido as a program. Bodie, how about you?
Yeah, I think, I mean, without going the obvious, we know the history St. Augustine's had. I think Patrick Henry it was awesome for JT to get their first title this year. They are losing some seniors that way. I think Fallbrook's one. I really want to see who's there because there's been so much turnover in recent years for those kids. I feel for them, not just with coaches, but principals. You just want those kids to have some stability for the tenure of their time and those 3-4 years they're there playing varsity in high school. So hopefully whoever is the next option there, that they can kind of build off of what they were this season and hopefully is there for the long haul.
You know what my first phone call will be?
I do.
You know what I would say?
I know right where you're going.
Chris
Someone
Moore.
who's been on the show.
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know if he'd do it, but I'm sure that's his dream job.
Who? Oh, deal. I heard Bodie's audio kind of overlining with that. I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. Yes, that would be interesting. I'm going to go with Patrick Henry. JT O'Sullivan was there 3 years?
I'm checking. I think that sounds right to me.
Not there very long, but he took them to almost immediate success. Like even that first year, they were putting up 60 something points in games. And even if they weren't like a championship threat right away, they were good right away. They were interesting right away. He proved that something that I have often thought is underappreciated, and that is that Allied Gardens and that whole area where Patrick Henry is located is kind of in the intersection of a pretty diverse amount of community, and you can get all different body shapes and sizes, and you can get people that are actually good linemen and actually good skill positions. And at least in terms of the time that we have been doing this job, I think back Dominic Silvels, Desmond Patman, like there's been signature dudes at Henry. It's not a school.
Even just this year, Elijah Lux.
Yeah, it's not a school that, oh, JT did it, like whatever. They got a good senior class. Yeah, okay, great. They're back to 2-8 next year. No, like, there's a lot of potential firepower in that school and momentum there coming off of a championship that I would say rarely see, but this year we've got 2 of them in terms of coaches leaving after championships. You kind of rarely see it where even with the senior class leaving, school's still on an upswing, coach steps away.
Also, JT, if you're watching this, I watched your most recent video about clock management. I have a few things I'd like to argue with you. Playfully argue. He just said never spike the ball. I don't agree with that.
I am down with us lightly beefing and feuding with JT O'Sullivan in a very
professional manner.
Not a good spirited, lighthearted. We're all in on the joke because we're all here cashing those YouTube checks, not taking things too serious. But yeah, I think
there's good times where you need to spike the ball. I don't understand that. That's his prerogative though.
Well, you can't run the fake spike if you don't run the spike.
So yeah, exactly.
To answer your question, 3 seasons at Henry, 6-6, 3-1, 10-3. So obviously on the upswing there and left him in a good spot.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I don't know, man. Bodie, you said it. You know what's at Saints exactly. Yeah. Like they can hire a big name coach and they can go back from being, 6th ranked usually to 2nd ranked or 1st ranked, but that's not a huge gap change. But if Patrick Henry can steam all the way up, I think that could be a D1 school in 2 years.
Yeah, and enrollment-wise, they're right around the 2,400 mark, so that's among the big public schools.
Yeah, and
right now.
Yep, exactly. So that's where I'm watching quick ascension potentially being someone there that if they hire the right person, that could be a roller coaster straight up for that school. Curious to hear what all of you guys out there in Twitter and Instagram sphere say. Hit us up if you have any coaching drama or news. Bug Tommy or Bodie, not me. I don't care. I just want to see them when they're hired. We'll talk to you guys. Anything we didn't miss anything? We're good.
I'll give one last shout out. A big result from a girls basketball game earlier this week. Mission Hills beat Cathedral. We know how good Cathedral's been. They have All-American Ice Brady. But for Mission Hills, that's a huge win. We know Country Day, how good they are, but Mission Hills getting that win. Jessica Grant, 15 points in that win there. And just looking through the numbers, everyone contributed rebounds, assists. So Mission Hills will be a team. They played La Jolla Country Day to 6 points earlier this year. So hopefully they get a matchup again and give another competitive effort there.
I legit think that the Country Day girls team is just chilling and is not showing us what they're capable of.
Yeah.
I honestly think
canyon of girls basketball.
Yeah, I think that Terry Bamford's holding them back and just not showing anybody what like the true plan is, and they're just going to start mollywopping people into the playoffs. Appreciate it, Bodie. Appreciate it, Tommy. Appreciate everybody for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week with more high school sports updates.